A quick note before we begin. This podcast dives into real, often raw conversations about life's most profound moments, from a labor's beginning to life's end and all the complexity in between. Some stories may be emotionally challenging or deeply moving. Please listen with care and know that you are not alone. Welcome to the Mom Atoosa podcast. I'm your host, Atoosa Benji. Welcome to the Mom Atoosa podcast. It's so great to have you on. My guest today is Denise Farahmand.
Hi, it's so great to be here.
So good to have you. Denise holds a very special place because Denise is the baby sister of my best friend, Selena. Shout out to Selly. Hello.
Hi.
We met in 8th grade, Selena and I, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like 10, 12 years ago, maybe. I've really literally watched you grow up.
I know.
I remember you as a little girl when your mom used to pick you up from school. You and Selena
gosh,
from
I can't
school.
believe it.
I know. Can you even believe we're talking like this?
No.
I literally feel like the grandma in the room. Yes, 10, 12 years ago is what it was, for sure. Then I remember your little brother was born.
Yeah.
I just remember you were Selena's little sister. And then you got engaged. And I was like, wait, what? How old is Denise exactly? And then you got married.
Yeah.
And thank God have 3 beautiful kids. I see you here and there in the community. We're not exactly in the same circles, but I do see you here and there. And your family is so near and dear to my heart. And I always ask Selena about you.
Thank you.
I
This
love
is like
you
the
too.
kindest intro ever.
It's true. It's really from my heart because I adore you guys. And humans plan and God has other plans, right? It's someone told me the other day that our plan is always plan B.
That's so true.
Don't wake up in the morning and think your plan A is your plan A, because plan A is all God and universe, and then we're plan B, C, D, and all the way down. Denise unfortunately lost her husband to cancer. How many years ago now?
A little over 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say 5, but it's 6.
Yeah.
Time does travel in a certain way.
Mm.
It's like the days are long and the days are short, and the years are long and the years are short.
Yeah.
I just have sometimes I look back. I was invited to a 50th wedding anniversary this weekend. And I was at this person's 25th wedding anniversary.
Wow,
and I was like, where did 25 years go?
It goes.
It does in many different ways, right? For harder, easier, better, worse. But your husband, rest his soul,
Thank you.
had quite a battle with cancer.
Yes.
And I watched you by his side, and I watched your family go through it with you, and I watched the kids, and I was at his burial, and it was devastating.
Yeah.
And it hit me in many different ways. One, because you were the little sister of my friend, and it was just extra hard to watch you go through that. But then it also hit me on the level, selfishly, of I lost my own mom when I was so young. I was 13, she was in her 30s. And I just remember looking at you at the funeral and going, I know she's going to be okay. I know she's going to be okay. But I know that there are some hard days ahead. Yeah. And every time I've watched you, and I know we've even talked on the phone a couple times.
We did. I remember I reached out to you, I think really early on after he passed. I was worried about my kids, and I knew that you had lost your mom. And I knew that I could talk to you. I knew that you would listen. And I really just needed comfort. I needed some reassurance. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, as you say, we plan, but like nobody tells you how to handle these things. And there's a lot of help out there. But nobody is really there saying like, okay, open up to Life Manual page 80 and here's your instruction of how to move forward. It doesn't exist. And I remember I called you and I reached out to you, and I wanted to hear what you had to say. And you were so kind to share your wisdom with me. And really, you were almost like a guiding light, because I saw what you had created with your life, even with the loss that you had, and it gave me hope.
That's very kind. I was very honored that you called, because to me, you've always, you hold yourself in such an empowered and solid way. And I know the kind of hands-on mom that you are, and I know how wonderful your kids are. And I know that there are days where you must close the door in your bedroom.
Oh yeah.
And be like, how am I going to do this?
Absolutely.
First, let's say his full name, because I think it's important that he's with us.
Thank you. His name was Human, and in Hebrew we say Human ben Shimon, of blessed memory.
Blessed memory.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like he's always with me, and I laugh because it's it's some crazy moments where I'll just talk to him in my head, and I'll be like, what the heck is going on? I need a little guidance here. I need you by my side here. And that's even part of the way I still keep in a connection with him.
How old was he when he was diagnosed?
He was 40. He got diagnosed at 40 with colorectal cancer. And treatment, surgeries, eventually it spread and metastasized all over liver, brain, and spinal fluid. That's eventually how he ended up passing away. But and then he was 43, almost just before his 44th birthday when he passed.
And you had been married for how long at that point?
When he passed, we had been married 17 years, I think. Been together for 20, so like half my life at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the kids were little.
Yes, they were 13, 11, and 6.
So maybe one in high school and then two in elementary?
2 in middle school, or 1 in middle school, 2 in elementary.
Hard times.
Yeah.
Those are difficult times for
really difficult
humans on the planet without the loss of parents.
Exactly.
Never mind with. So you got the news. I'm sure it was shocking. What was your first thought?
The diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was as if, that saying of like, I felt like a truck ran over me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that because God bless doctors, but when they speak to patients, maybe this is more in the cancer world, they're very, I don't want to say nonchalant, but matter of fact with the diagnosis, as if like, well, this is it, and okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took a while to settle in, and my first reaction was, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to deal with this? This is like the problem solver in me. Like, okay, what are we going to do? And it was that for a lot of years. And honestly, I don't think I dealt with emotions until after he passed away.
Because you were in go mode.
Go mode. It was 100% survival mode, go mode, just do whatever it takes and get through it.
Did you tell the kids?
Initially, no, because they were really little. I didn't even know how to do that. And he was fine through treatment for the most part. Mm-hmm. He didn't have hair loss. He wasn't very sick. He didn't look sick. I think we told our oldest daughter, I really don't even remember the details. I know we told her because he ended up having to have surgery and recovery. But as it progressed, we had to tell them and kind of explain like, what is cancer? But the inevitable questions come up of like, well, why? Mm. Why is he sick? How did he get sick? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's still now like, well, why did he have to die? Yeah. Why couldn't the doctors help him? Why didn't the medicine work? Those are the tough ones because I don't have the answers.
We don't have the answers. Did you slip into denial?
during his illness, like he's fine, everything is okay.
Or he's not going to pass. He's going to beat this. Is it denial or is it hope?
I would say hope.
Hope.
I don't know, denial, maybe it was. I don't know. But we never talked about what if. It was always, we're going to get through this. We're going to do this. We're going to have this treatment. We're going to have this surgery, and you're going to be better. And I really felt that. I wasn't ready to say like, okay, we're done. Yeah. Let's prepare for the worst. Till honestly, I'm telling you, I didn't accept it till I had to. And that was when he passed.
And was it pretty close from knowing the inevitable was going to happen to his passing, or was that a long drawn out?
Honestly, I had hope even in the most challenging times where he was really not okay. Like the last year of his life, he really was not okay. I still had hope. I still prayed every day. I still did everything with the hope that it's going to help him. Mm-hmm. And I think until really the last few days, maybe week, and I would not say that I gave up hope, but I still knew like it's not good.
So many layers, Denise. I'm thinking about this from so many different angles, because when things like this come up in families, people begin to people, right? It's my new favorite word is peopling.
I like that.
Right?
That's
people,
a nice way to say it. Yeah.
And we all people in our own way.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's no manual.
Yeah.
What do you say to someone whose partner is gravely ill and it looks like they're not going to make it? What do you say to the children? What do you say to yourself?
Yeah.
What and everyone has a different MO. And I remember, again, just because my backdrop here is having watched my father become a widow. Is it widower for a man? Widower.
Yeah, widower.
Person who's lost their wife. People say so many things.
Yeah.
And God bless them. Some of them really, really think that they're helping. And I remember someone said to me, because my mom died very suddenly, like she just dropped. Like she was still holding what she was holding. Like she didn't even have time to put it down. She just left the planet. And someone said to me, "You're so lucky that she died." And I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Right. And she said, well, I didn't say tell me more. I think I just looked at her blankly. Today I would say tell me more. And she said, had she have made it, she would have been a vegetable. And I was a little kid and I didn't know how a human could turn into a vegetable. I was like, what does she mean? Like my mother could turn into a vegetable? Yeah. I took it so literally. I didn't know what she was talking about. Only later, I'm talking 20 years later, did it finally click. What she was saying was, had she had survived this, she might have ended up in a vegetative state, which is a horrible word. And then I was like, oh, she was trying to make me feel better. Yeah. But at the time, the confusion, the anger, the puberty, the hormones, at that age, you hate everyone anyway.
Right.
Because you feel so misunderstood and you don't understand that to add the death of a parent, such a sudden death, was so shocking. But then to see the way adults behaved around it was like, well, who exactly is the adult here?
I think, first of all, I pray to God nobody has said anything like that to my kids.
Amen.
That's like my first thought as you're sharing this story. People have a really hard time getting vulnerable. And death is something that is feared, and there's a lot of unknown around it and how to act. Honestly, I hate I've always hated like funerals, memorials. Like I never know what to say and I feel so uncomfortable. Or are you supposed to cheer someone up? Are you supposed to sit quiet? Like what are you supposed to do? You know? It's weird. But then
that's on page 85 of the manual.
yes, I know. I'm going to go back and look for the manual.
Yeah, look in
I'm
the
still
index.
waiting to receive my copy. People get really weird and then all of a sudden they say something or they give you a look and then they remember like what happened to you and then they're like, oh my, I've had people, this doesn't happen anymore. It used to happen a lot, but people would see me and they'd smile and come to say hi to me. And then all of a sudden, I think they'd remember, like I lost my husband.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, hi, and like with this sadness and like as if they had to feel my pain or show me that they understand. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's from a good place, but it's really funny. I think you could write a book about those moments.
About those moments and the things people say. And my next question is, I almost feel like a fraud even asking you this because you're on my podcast talking about this subject, but losing your husband at such a young age can almost become a part of your identity, but it's not all of you.
Correct.
How do you mitigate that?
So I think through my journey in the last few years and, looking for healing and obviously having a lot of growth in that time as well. At first, I felt like my identity was shattered because everything that I had known, everything that I thought my future would be, everything that my present was about, it was gone. It was gone. Everything. And I always think of it like this. I was holding like a glass ball and trying to juggle several balls, illness, death, kids, work, house, financial, whatever. And they all fell. Like somebody pulled the rug out from under me and they all shattered. And that was me. I was no longer a wife. I was a mom, but I was a single mom. I was sole caretaker. I did not have a partner, and it completely changed. So I learned that I had to build my own identity back. I don't want to say back because it wasn't like I went back to anything, but build it up into whatever it needed to be. So yes, having felt loss and dealt with loss was a part of it, but it wasn't all of it.
Yeah, I have a mentor, a spiritual mentor, who says we never go backwards, we always go forwards. And I can really feel like a recreating of who you are and who you are within what you already are. So recreating who you are as a mother.
Yes.
Now in a different capacity where you're doing it all alone.
Yes.
Were you mad at God?
I was never mad at God. I think I turned to and still turn to God as my partner. And there are certain things in my life that are heavy at certain moments, and I hand it over because I don't have the answers. I can't do it all alone, even though I might try, but I ask for help and I pray, and I sometimes I just surrender and I'm like, God, you got to help me. I don't know how to move forward. Give me some inspiration, open an opportunity, like whatever it might be. I don't know how to handle this. And it's not something that I can go to a therapist for, or to a friend for, or to family members for. God bless them all. They all provide amazing support, but there are certain things that I internally have to decide or deal with or work on, and that goes to God.
It's so interesting you say that, because my kids always say that I relate everything to birth. I do. Literally everything reverts back to birth. So for me, what came to my mind was a person who's giving birth has hired their team. They have their midwife they have their doula, they have their postpartum doula. They may or may not have a partner. Maybe their loved one is in the room. Maybe a support person is in the room. But when it comes time to birth that baby, that person has to dig real, real deep.
Yeah.
Especially when that self-doubt comes in.
Oh yeah, and it
Like
does.
It does.
And it
does.
Comes
in life, and it comes in birth. There's that moment of transition where you're going between, the cervix is opened and your body's getting ready to push, and it's like, I can't do this. I now need to leave my body because this is too much.
Yeah.
And the self-doubt comes in, and what do we say to our clients is, you have to dig deep.
Yeah.
This is you. You have to birth this baby. I'm here, your doula's here, maybe whoever else is here, but it's you. And what I'm hearing is you had support.
Oh yeah, thank God.
But it was Denise that had to go through it and had to reach for a power that was going to help you go through it.
Yes.
When he was in his last moments, did he say anything to you that sticks with you?
No. So in his last year, he was, his speech and physical movement was very much compromised. So there was not a lot of conversation. There was not a lot of words. The only thing I remember, I don't know if it was, I think it was the night before he passed. He put his hand in my hair, and that was just a very loving touch. But no, there were no words.
And the family was around, or was it very personal between the two of you?
Yeah, no, it was me, his mom, and his sister. Yeah, my kids were not there. Nobody else was there.
Death has a very interesting energy. And again, I'm gonna liken it to birth because that's what I do. But when you're expecting a baby, there's an energy in the room.
Yeah.
And it's a transitional, magical, unknowing vibration of realm entry or realm leaving, which I actually believe it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
I don't know. I think I guess that was the moment of denial. I knew it was happening, but I was praying that it wasn't going to happen, and that, miracle of miracles would happen. I was not aware of that, but I know it happened. I know it was happening. And I think I left the room pretty soon after. I just didn't want to remember him like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's in our culture, I know we share a culture, we bury our dead.
Yes.
And it's still very difficult for me when I go to a funeral to place a loved one in a box and watch that box go under.
Yeah.
And then actually have the obligation of putting dirt on the coffin and then driving home.
Yeah.
I still to this day, and I consider myself somewhat spiritually evolved. I understand that the soul is no longer there, and it was just a vessel, and it was a shell, and it was what was it like burying him?
Also, not just that, but it's like a sign of respect to do that.
Right? Exactly.
I hated that day. To this day, I hate that day. I don't enjoy funerals. I don't find solace in visiting a gravesite. For me, he's not there. Maybe his body is there. I don't know, but I don't need to go there to be connected to him. And I don't like that idea. That day was one of the worst days of my life. I hated every second of it. To know that his body was in that box, it was horrifying to me. That more than anything, like if I felt any anger at any point, it was that day. I hated that day. Yes, I was angry for many, I want to say years after he passed.
Anger is easier, right? Anger has a very it has a very active energy to it.
Yes. And I wasn't necessarily angry at anyone or myself. I was just angry.
Mm-hmm.
My grief was in anger.
Right.
For a lot. Like I didn't know. I didn't know how to deal. That was my way of dealing with it. And I was in therapy and I was in support groups and I have, thank God, the best family and my children were great, but I was so angry. So angry.
What happened when the anger broke down? Well, first, what made the anger break down? Did it have a moment? Because mine usually has a cracking moment.
I think it was just over time, a lot of work, a lot of taking care of myself, finding what I needed in this new life and creating it and working towards it, like all the time. All the time. And I think I just reached a point, I had this realization where I realized I was angry and I wasn't responding to people in the way that I wanted to. And it was this anger that was responding. It was this anger and hurt that was dictating my life. That was the realization. I was like, whoa, I can't do that. That's not working for me. And then I was like, well, what if I try something different?
Yeah.
And then I did, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I knew it. I knew it all along in my anger that it wasn't what I needed to be doing and acting and behaving from that anger. But I wasn't ready to deal with it. I wasn't ready to let go of it.
Yeah.
It was very much a crutch, actually.
Yeah.
It
has power.
I was very.
Sometimes I think God created anger for that. It has a temporary purpose.
I guess.
Until it stops working. I mean, ultimately it runs out of gas and it stops working. Typically, hopefully, for the lucky ones.
I hope. It was just, it was like a light bulb moment of like, oh my gosh, I can actually do it this way. And I don't have to feel all this crap that I'm feeling or I was feeling. I can just be happy. Like I can just have fun. Really? Is that possible? And that was, it was a light bulb moment for sure.
Yeah. Wow. That's so powerful. I had that experience recently with forgiveness.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had been holding on to something that had happened and I was mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Held on to it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in the bathtub and I got this. My moment is in the bathtub with my Epsom salt.
Of course.
Very
it's your
powerful
slow
for
down.
me.
It's the shower. It's like visions come in when I'm not thinking or doing anything and I'm trying to wash my hair.
So true. I actually now have this thing where when I have to have a difficult conversation with my child, I'm like, meet me at the bathtub at 6:00 because the water mitigates me like wanting to climb out and hit them.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm not going to raise my voice because I'm in my bathtub and we're going to talk this through. And it has helped so much better than the breakfast table or the carpool lane or the drive home. It's meet me at the bathtub and it's working.
Perfect.
But I had that moment of, I got a vision. I got a very clear prophetic type vision of what would happen if I forgave right now.
Yeah.
And I felt this opening.
Exactly.
Just
like
this,
you feel lighter.
All of a sudden,
right?
Like the world just opened.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, so if God is supposed to be forgiving in nature and God forgives, then who am I to keep holding on?
Yeah.
Like almost like, how dare I?
Wow. It's very powerful.
And it just opened, it just cracked through because like resentment and anger and non-forgivement and withdrawal all have that same vibration.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, with anger, with at least the anger I had,
Yeah.
it was also an aspect of forgiveness to myself, forgiveness and compassion, and forgiveness to all the time that I couldn't let go of the anger, and I was, ready to, and I was like, okay, and compassion for all of it.
Yeah.
It really,
It served
powerful.
you. It served you for a while. It served you.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
I remember reading something in a book a few years ago where a woman had very suddenly lost her mother and she was devastated. And at the Shiva, someone said to her to the effect of, "May your mother be an advocate for you in heaven," which I had never heard before. And I was so deeply moved by it. And this woman said she had never heard of it either. She was like, "What do you mean my mother be an advocate for?" Like, what does that even mean? But later on, through a series of events, shortly after her mother's death, she really saw her mother's hand through this journey that happened that was all like orchestrated, almost like someone was like, God, we're doing it this way for my daughter today. And I know that Human is advocating up there for you.
I know.
I know in my head, and I know in my heart, and I feel it in my spirit. Have you seen evidence of it? Where is he?
He is, I'm telling you, he's always with me. He, especially when it's like milestone events with the kids, he's there. I feel it. Definitely feel that. I think he is right there hand in hand with God. People say like your guardian angel. I feel that. But something else I heard recently, which really resonated with me, was that, when people die, it's not an end of your relationship. Your relationship just continues. They're in a different form.
Yeah.
And it's a different way of relating. His soul has abilities to guide and to support very differently than from when he was here on Earth.
In physical form.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that now sits with me a lot.
I never thought of it that way.
I know, it's very powerful.
Wow, that's life-changing.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot about Einstein said energy can never be destroyed. It can only change forms.
Right.
So where do they go? Where do our loved ones go? Where does the energy of that soul go? It's still here. It's here. It's just not in a physical form. So it's transformed. And then I get into like, well, is it in this realm? Did it go to a different realm? And then I got really morbid a couple weeks ago where I was like, I better really enjoy this life because I don't know if I'm going to see these people again next time I come around. And someone was like, oh, you'll see them again. They'll just be in a different form.
Exactly.
They will show up. And I was like, well, I kind of like them in this form. So I'm going to enjoy them in this lifetime in this form because next time I don't know what it's going to be. I got this YOLO feeling about me. I was like, and I'm going to climb a mountain and jump off a cliff and I'm going to do it all because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not a YOLO person. I'm very much like, and then we die and that's totally fine. Like when we die, But then I was like, oh, but this particular realm is like all I have right now.
Yeah. Well, all you have right now is right now.
Right.
And I've dug deep into all of this too
because
I really wanted answers. Like, what happens when you die, and not why you die, but like what happens, and what does it mean? From my understanding, is we are all souls. Whether you're in a physical body or not, you're still there. The energy is there, and you're connected in some way. And you'll always be connected. That doesn't change. So the only thing that changes is the physicality.
Does he have a symbol? Does he come through a symbol?
It's for me, it's a hummingbird or a butterfly. Aww. Mostly hummingbird.
He comes around. He comes around. My grandmother comes in the form of a bird too. I was actually in the therapist's office. I mean, not that I go to therapy, but I just happened to be. And I was talking to the therapist, and all of a sudden this bird, and the therapist has a new office now. It's a corner office, and it's a window and a window. It's a right angle window. And this bird comes knocking, and we're on like the third floor. This bird comes knocking at the window for about 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes on one window. And the therapist was like, this has never happened before. And then the bird goes to the other window and then comes back to the other window. 45-minute session, this bird left maybe 5 minutes towards the end. And I turned to the therapist and I said, this bird's trying to tell me something and I know something's coming and I'll let you know. And sure enough, something was coming and something very difficult was coming.
Oh, wow.
And she gave me the heads up and I know that it was her because I feel my grandmother everywhere. I don't feel my mother as much because my mother died at a time where I was a 13-year-old angry pubescent girl and I didn't understand her and I don't think she understood me. So when she died, she felt so old already that I didn't comprehend what 38 years of age was until I turned 38 and I was like, oh my God, I outlived my mother. Wow. That is crazy, you know, but my grandmother was a whole different I was a baby with her. I was an adolescent with her. Then she was at my wedding. Then she watched me become a mother. So I feel like I had more life with her.
Yes.
Not only in terms of years, but in terms of life events.
Yes.
And so she's everywhere to the extent that one time I was lighting candles and I could just feel her.
Oh, wow.
And my tears were coming down. Like I was like, I feel her. And I opened my eyes and my middle daughter, Shirley, said, I saw her too.
Oh my gosh, she just gave me chills.
And she was like, I saw her. I saw Grandma. I saw Mama. She walked by. I saw her.
Yeah.
And neither of us had communicated anything because both of our eyes were closed. But I believe deeply that they...
Oh, 100%.
They hang around.
100%.
They hang around. Does he have a sense of humor?
He does.
Do you feel giggles?
He does. And he has a certain smile. Like if you knew him, you knew like when he was being cheeky or funny, there was this smile. And anytime, like a little mischievous, but fun.
Very beautiful.
That's just like, that's how I see him. And if I've had dreams of him or if I ever have a vision of him, it's with that smile, like glowing smile.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it like to see him through your children?
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because it's usually like the little quirks that, you know, were him.
Yeah.
And they do it. I'm like, what?
It's like, how can mannerism be on the gene?
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing.
Yeah. Or like things that they may have not even known
about him.
Or that he did, but they do it. And I'm like, what? Yeah, like, why? Where'd you learn that?
Yeah.
You know, they were really little. They don't, especially Jacob, he doesn't remember much. And he definitely probably doesn't remember his mannerisms. But he does it.
Yeah, it's on the gene. It's fascinating. It's so fascinating. So with Human being so young, his parents were alive.
Yes.
And God bless them. And your parents are alive.
Yes.
What was it like watching them mourn? Both parents in different, one morning the son and one morning a son-in-law, which is a son essentially.
Absolutely. Really hard. Really, really hard because I knew they were so sad, yet they were trying to support me. So I know there's a lot of the sadness that I didn't see. And I think a lot of my sadness and my anger was, wow, what can I do for them? Like, how can this be? And then I would feel a lot of times, I didn't want to be a reminder of their sadness, you know?
Wow, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard. Wow.
Yeah.
I know we talked about anger. Did you have another vice that helped you get through?
A vice? I think I exercised a lot. I still do. That's just, I need the release. I think for a lot of years I did angry exercise. I did boxing. I did like loud music where I wouldn't have to hear my thoughts. And then it changed, and I needed to be a little bit more gentle on my body. And I think that was right in line with releasing the anger.
Wow. Wow. What did it turn into?
From boxing, yoga, dance, walking. Those are mostly it for now.
Did you feel like you were then able to be with yourself?
Yes.
I think being with self can be very scary.
Very.
And that came to me actually one time during therapy. I think my therapist had me write something. I hate writing. I like writing creatively, but I don't like journaling.
Yeah.
I don't like to see my feelings on paper. I don't like to get out my feelings on paper, but apparently it's a very healthy tool.
Yes.
So
it's very hard.
For me, it's hard. I would talk before I would write, because I'm better at talking first, but writing involved a level of intimacy with self.
I'm the same.
I was afraid
things
of.
come out on the paper that you didn't even know you were thinking.
Right. But and that's what I told her. I said, I'm afraid of what's going to come out on the paper. Yeah. And she said, Atoosa, whatever comes out on the paper came from inside of you.
Yeah.
So you're already living with it. Putting it on paper is not going to make any difference. It's like looking at your 23andMe to look at your chromosomes. They're already you.
Yeah.
Looking at them is not going to change them.
Except it does. It lets it go.
Yeah.
It lets
it's
it
scary,
go. But
though.
It's very hard to see it.
It's very,
and there are
very
times
scary.
like I've done writing on and off. I'm just like you. I don't love it.
Nope.
I've done it when I feel like, okay, I really just have to. And I'll write it and I won't look at it. Like I will almost write it and I'll put my head in a certain way where I can't really see what I'm writing. And I'll put it away.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Right.
And I know what I wrote. It's in there.
It's you.
But I don't want to hear. And then I can go back to it when I'm ready and read it. And then, you're supposed to like tear it up and burn it and get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, you know what I do? I do a version. I do it so messy and I only use, there's one pen. It's that old fashioned Bic pen.
Oh,
the Bic
like
roller.
barely writes.
It barely writes. And it's so messy when
Yes.
I can write because it's so smooth. I can't even read it.
Yeah.
I don't even go back to look at it.
Yeah.
And no one can read it.
Oh, no.
So like
no
if
one
I,
reads it.
if my kids ever find it, they're never going to find what it says in there.
Yeah.
Nor do I ever want to go back and read it.
Yeah.
But it's very just cathartic.
Yes.
Cathartic.
There
to
is
get
something
it out.
to it.
Talk to me about cultural norms and expectations around death and mourning. And I'll tell you why I'm asking that specific question. We develop cultural norms that are often built on tradition or religion or even country, wherever it is, the society that we're living in. To me, some were so painful and so misunderstood that they made my anger worse. For example, covering mirrors during the week after mourning. Or I remember during a memorial, someone wrote a note to my aunt, who was my mother's sister, and said, "Go take your nail polish off right now." And my aunt was furious.
Yeah.
She's like, my 38-year-old sister just dropped dead, and you're focusing on my nail polish.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until many years later, of course, as I grew and matured, sort of, I realized that those, while they seemed meaningless, they do have a place in helping with the mourning. Did you find any of those rituals helpful, or did they upset you as much as they upset me?
I honestly did not pay attention to the details. We did the Shiva, the week of Shiva, we would memorial, 1 month memorial, 11-month anniversary, 1 year anniversary. Yeah. That was a lot. Honestly, at that time, it was still very much a whirlwind for me. And I was very much in my head about it. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to show up? How am I going to be? I don't even remember like what went on.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything like that to me. I wasn't spoken to in that way, which thank God, I don't know how I would have reacted. But But like the Shiva week, the month, the year, I get it. It didn't make it any easier for me to know that these were rituals and customs. And although I knew it was for his soul and for our comfort, I didn't think about it so much. I was in another place. Life was a blur for me. I was always thinking about, like, how am I going to hold it together? How am I going to show up? What am I going to do for my kids? How am I taking my kids? Are they coming? Are they not coming? Do I have to speak to them before and after? And that's where my head was. So what went on with the rest, I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah. Which is part of survival, I think.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. And I think a lot of what other people do and say, it's a lot out of their own discomfort.
Yes.
And fear and worry and trying to make things okay.
Yeah. I was at a memorial recently, and a woman had lost her young daughter to cancer. And a gentleman came up to her and said, everybody dies. And I was like, dude,
it's true, but that's not the time and place.
Not the time and place. And yet I was like, he's not the most eloquent man.
Yeah.
This was his way of providing care,
comfort.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was peopling.
Yeah.
He was being a human.
Listen, honestly, like what I said about, your relationships continue even when somebody dies in just a different form. If somebody had told me, I heard this literally a month ago, and I was like, okay, I was ready to hear that, and I soaked it in, and it felt really good. If somebody had said that to me a week after, a month, I would have punched them.
Right.
I would have been like, get out of my face.
Get out of my
like,
face.
what?
Yeah. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
It's
like,
so
how dare
out of
you?
place. Yeah. It's so out of place.
So there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people are not great with time and a place in the best of circumstances.
Exactly.
Even more
but
so
with
in difficult
death,
times.
it's just pure discomfort. There's nothing easy or comfortable about it. No. Even when somebody is, God willing, 120 years old and they die naturally in their sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Child wants to hear that their parent, like God, like, you can't comfort someone by saying they lived a long life.
Right.
Even though it's true, even though, yes, they're going to die someday, it's not a comfort in that moment. Yeah. Later, maybe you can talk about it. Maybe you can share a story that you remember them by.
Right.
Then it feels good, but not in that moment.
Yeah. Does your mama bear come up around your kids when people approach the subjects of their father passing?
I don't think anybody talks about the death or his illness, to be honest.
Is that good or bad?
I feel like it's good because that's not what my kids need, as far as I see it.
Right.
So Mama Bear and me, if somebody wants to talk to my kids about their dad, tell them a story that you remember about their dad. I don't care what it is, just a memory. They love that. They really love that, especially because, I have a lot of memories with him.
Right.
I lived half my life with him, but ask me for a story, I'm going to be like, I don't know. Yeah. And some people have a different perspective. They grew up with him. They went to elementary school with him.
Yes.
They played basketball with him. Whatever. They worked with him. Share a great story.
Yes.
But
so much so.
At this point, even with me, rarely does his illness or death come up.
Along the lines of what you were saying, I had a very powerful experience a few years ago. I went back to England, and it's always very charged for me because, I was basically raised there, and then my mom died, and we left very quickly. So we actually we were waiting my whole childhood for the green card. We got the green card. We purchased the tickets to come to the U.S., and she literally dropped dead.
Wow.
So we came to the U.S. with the same tickets.
Wow.
-1.
Wow.
And so going back to England is very charged for me. So I was at my aunt's house where I often stay, and she said, so-and-so is coming after dinner to have tea with you. And I was like, so-and-so, like, that was my mother's friend. Like, I don't, okay,
Yeah.
you know, okay.
They
So
want to see
she
you.
came. They want to see you. And that night changed my life.
Really?
Denise, it changed my life because I was still carrying the anger of a 13-year-old girl who had lost her mother, and still looking at my mother through the eyes of a 13-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
This woman brought stories to me.
I think you shared one of the stories
Did I
with
share
me.
one of the stories with you?
Yeah.
That story, the roof one?
Yes.
That's a good story. That turned my mother into a human
Yeah.
and a best friend and not a parent. Because we are so many things to so many people. She was my parent, but she was her best friend.
Yeah.
And so she allowed me to look at my mother through this lens of pure love that best girlfriends have together, that you don't have with your child, that you don't have with your employer or your uncle or your aunt. It's because I saw my mother through stories that my grandmother told of her daughter, stories that my aunt would tell of her sister.
Yeah,
but
very different.
Very different. Your best friend has a view of you or of me or of us that is so loving and so forgiving
Yeah.
that it opened my eyes to forgiveness because I was mad at her.
Wow.
I was really mad at her.
That's amazing. And I love that.
It was just so powerful as you're telling me, people telling stories of Farahmand to your kids.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things
Yeah.
ever because you can see that your dad wasn't just a dad.
He wasn't just a dad that died.
Right.
Or was sick.
Right.
When I think of him, I don't want to think of that time.
Right.
Not because it was hard for me, but that wasn't him.
Right.
That wasn't who he was.
Right.
You know, and that's not how he lived his life.
Yeah. His light was very bright.
Yeah.
He had a very bright light around him.
He still does.
I remember seeing you guys at a sushi place once when you were very newly married, and I thought, these two are just glowing. Got this light around them that was just palpable. Rest his soul.
Man.
I wonder if you are ready for love again. And coupled with that is, where does your trust in the universe fall?
Yes. So in this arena, my trust is 100% in the universe. This is one of those things that I don't know what to do with, how to handle, what action to take, what not to take. This is for God. This is not to me. I would love to share my life with someone and fall in love again and have all that again. Of course, it will be different because I'm a different person. I am, 20 years older than when I fell in love the first time. And the circumstances of my life and all the events of my life that has brought me here, this is what it is. I think life is more fun to share it with someone and to have that intimacy and that relationship and that closeness, companionship, or whatever you want to call it.
But you don't have a timeline about it, like when the kids are older or in 5 years or in 2 years or yesterday.
No, I used to worry a lot about my kids and, because I think one of the first things they asked me was, are you going to get married again? And I think this was from my son, who at the time was 6.
Wow.
And
from the mouths of babes. Huh?
Yeah. And he's like, you better not, because you can't.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to. I was like, okay. So of course I have them in mind more than anything, but I would love for them to have a predominant male figure in their life who is a great friend. It's not their dad. They always have their dad.
Yes.
He has that place, but they can have a friend. And I know that if they see that I'm happy with someone, obviously I'm not going to bring home
Right.
anybody to meet my kids.
Right.
You know, it's going to be like, I know this guy's great. But I think when and now they're older, when they see that like I'm happy and I'm good and I trust this person, they might accept that too. I don't know. Hasn't happened yet.
You'd be a lucky man, Denise.
Thank you.
Really, really lucky man.
Thank you.
We're getting ready to wrap up, but I want to ask you 3 more questions.
Okay.
The first question is double-sided, as my questions often are. How has Human's passing hardened you? And how has Human's passing softened you?
Hardened me in that I think I used to rely on him for a lot of things, which resulted in me staying quiet. And just, you know, either we'd come to an agreement, but he'd take the lead, or I just went with what was, you know, the direction he was going to. And without that, I have to really stand strong. So it's knowing my values, standing up for my values, and leading my life in that way. And sometimes that takes saying no to things, that takes pursuing things that are really important to me, no matter how hard it is. So I guess hardened in that way.
Yeah.
And then softened in just, I don't know, I think I work really hard towards being compassionate, and not just to other people, but to myself. You know, when you go through something that's difficult, you come to see that everybody goes through something, whether they talk about it or not. Everybody has their challenges, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I try to slow down and just be meaningful in my actions and my words, because we tend to just roll through things without thought, without mindfulness,
Without intention.
without intention.
Yeah.
That's not how I want to live.
And that's not how you live.
Oh,
You are incredible.
Thank you.
I'm so honored.
As are you.
I am so honored. Thank you. I feel so grateful that we got to spend an hour together and have some very raw conversation about
Me
a very
too.
difficult topic. I pray that you raise your children with ease and with joy, and you're able to go through all of the milestones with Human's mischievous smile and just watch your children grow and thrive. Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was really great.
It's a treat.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Mama Atoosa podcast on the Industry Plant Podcast Network. Mama Atoosa is hosted by me, Atoosa Benji, and produced by Josh Stretton Carlson. Our theme music is composed by Mary Lalazarian. If you enjoyed the podcast, please consider leaving us a review and subscribing. See you next Tuesday.